Today, we're going to cover 3 ways to build time for self-care into a busy schedule. Self-care is not the same thing as being selfish. Self-care is actually the most generous thing that you can do for the people in your life that you love, for your family, for your friends, for your community. Taking care of yourself is the first step to being in balance and achieving work-life balance. And you'll hear me say this from time to time because I think it's so important. Our work and our life do not equal each other, and therefore they can't be in balance. The only thing that can be in balance is us as we move through our work and move through our life. Picture a carton of eggs. An egg, it represents work. It represents family. It represents hobbies. It represents travel or your home. The carton that holds the eggs, that represents your life. And you can see in that analogy that your life, the carton, doesn't equal one of the parts of your life, the eggs. If you can practice some of these simple ideas that we talk about today for self-care, I promise it will change your life. Hello and welcome. My name is Danette Lowe, and this is Shine First Today, where we help you learn how to follow your own internal guidance system. Thank you for joining us. Let's start today by talking about something that I'm very fascinated with. I'm really interested in this concept of 10xing something, of having 10 times more of something. The idea is that if you want to double something, just put twice as much effort in. But in order to have 10 times as much of something, you have to actually change your mindset. You have to change your patterns. You have to change what you're doing. You can't simply work 10 times as many hours to earn 10 times as much revenue. I'm spending a lot of time on this. In fact, I've put a class together called 10x Your Time, Strategies to Utilize Team and Technology. We'll put a link to the course in the description below. The other thing that I'm really interested in having more of is laughter. I really want to 10x the amount of laughter I have in my life. I want to have real, true, laugh out loud, pee your pants, belly aching, gut busting laughter. And I'm conscious of this in every single interaction I have. I'm conscious of this as I'm interacting with other people in my life. Did we have a good conversation? Did we have a nice moment? Did we have a shared moment of laughter, even with a stranger? Did we smile at each other when we passed each other in the grocery store, or someone that you don't even know? And I find that when I'm focused on laughter and I'm focused on having laughter and joy and lightheartedness in my day and in my schedule, that it doesn't leave a lot of room for stress. I can't be stressed out if I'm feeling joy and laughter. And so really actively looking to incorporate laughter into my life. And at the end of the day, if I don't feel like I've had enough laughter in my day, then what I'll do is go onto YouTube and type in comedy. And YouTube knows me all too well. YouTube will suggest something that Kevin Hart has done. I find Kevin Hart to be just incredibly funny. I love the little skits that he does, and they just crack me up to no end. And I hope I get to meet Kevin Hart someday so that I can tell him how much I really enjoy his work. Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg, another favorite of mine, did a movie together recently called Me Time. That's where I got the idea to write this episode, was from that movie. In the movie, Mark Wahlberg's character celebrates himself in such an amazing way. He goes all out to celebrate himself. His character has this incredible amount of joy in the celebration. I remember thinking when I watched the movie that, what if we did that for ourselves? What if we had that much joy just in celebrating ourselves each and every day? Wouldn't that be amazing? In the story, Kevin Hart's character, well, he's a stay-at-home dad, and he's taking care of his wife, who is a busy professional, and he's taking care of the kids, and he's running around at the PTA, and he's doing everything for everyone. Who in our lives can't relate to that? How many of us are both working full-time and taking care of our family, taking care of our kids? One time I was asked to bake 272 cookies for the school teacher appreciation day, which I did. Of course, I didn't have the time, but someone asked, and so I said yes. I could appreciate the character in the movie who is doing everything of himself to everyone in his life and not taking time to celebrate himself, not taking any me time. And so Mark Wahlberg's character talks him into, Kevin Hart's character, into spending some time together. If you get a chance, it's really funny to watch. But what are the consequences for us for not taking me time? What happens? Well, we get stressed out, we get overwhelmed, we're maxed out, we don't have any bandwidth. One time, my husband planned a romantic weekend getaway for a spa couples weekend at my favorite place on earth in June Lake, California. And I was so stressed out, I made him cancel the trip. I made him cancel this wonderful, lovely weekend he planned for us because I was feeling so stressed out. In hindsight, even at the time, somewhere in my mind knew that probably would have been better for me than just sitting around being stressed out. But that's what I chose. I chose stress. That's what can happen when we are not taking any time to focus on ourselves. Creating time for self-care, particularly in a busy schedule, is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about 3 ways to build time for self-care into your schedule. The first way is to create a morning ritual. When you first wake up in the morning, before you open your eyes, when you're in that kind of half asleep, half awake state, the first thing I want you to do is start to love yourself. Start to tell yourself wonderful things about yourself. Say to yourself, I am amazing. I am hardworking. I owned my day at work yesterday. I had a really lovely interaction with my kids yesterday. I look forward to playing with my kids today. I look forward to whatever it is you're going to work on that day. And just spend time before the thoughts and worries of the day creep in, and spend time focusing on yourself, complimenting yourself, and saying nice things to yourself. But wait, you're saying, Danette, I wake up to an alarm and my life, I have to hit the ground running. I have to get kids going to school. I have to get myself showered and dressed. And I get that. If you don't have that special time in the morning, then what I want you to do is when you're taking a shower, when you're getting ready, getting dressed, or commuting, those are the times that I want you to practice this exercise. There are times, especially in the morning, when our thoughts are just a little bit more relaxed. And take that time to work on the inside as well. And just say nice things to yourself. When you look in the mirror, just say, man, I look good today. Man, I look beautiful today. And you don't have to say it out loud. You only have to think it You don't have to tell anyone you're doing it. There's no downside to doing it. No one's going to make fun of you or tease you. I will tell you that it's going to be just a nice change of pace to carve out. So this doesn't really take any extra time. It's like you're just going to avoid thinking about the stresses and problems of work while you're thinking about nice things for yourself. And so you're just going to shift some of the thoughts that might be thoughts of worry about other things or other people. Instead, just in the morning, you're going to focus on yourself. Now, Mark Wahlberg does this at the whole next level, right? He has something he calls prayer time, and he wakes up, I think, at 4 a.m. every morning, and he spends his first hour of his day in what he calls prayer time. And that is a sacred hour for him, and he spends time introspective, hopefully saying nice things about himself. I don't know exactly what his process is, but that's a very key component of his day. And in fact, I've heard him say that he goes to bed at 7 p.m. so that he can wake up early and have this schedule. That is another thing that we can do for ourselves. If we're not getting enough sleep at night, then that can be causing a lot of problems. And that's kind of a simple thing to rectify by going to bed a little bit earlier. I remember years ago, we were buying a new mattress and the salesman said, "Oh yeah, you can get by with like 5 hours of sleep on that." I said, sold. He probably said that line to every single woman who came into the store, because who wouldn't want to feel rejuvenated after 4 or 5 hours of sleep, right? At the time, definitely. If you're not getting enough sleep, that's another thing that can cause stress. So take that morning ritual, take some time every morning and just focus on loving on yourself and thinking nice thoughts about yourself. It takes a little practice. So you might want to write down a few things to get yourself started, or you might start to have 2 or 3 things you just say to yourself to get started and then go from there. Okay, number 2. Take a class in a hobby or an interest that you have. Take an actual physical class. I took a class called Drawing 101 at the college, and it was every Thursday afternoon from 2 to 5. I really had to work on carving that time out of my schedule. So luckily I work for myself, and so I was able to work late Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I could have the time to do it. Taking that time to take the class was actually life-changing. I learned so much about life in that class. I'm actually writing the next episode based on all the things I learned in that class. I consider myself a lifetime learner. If I want to know more about something, I've always taken a class in it. One time I wanted to learn how to knit. I went down to the local yarn store and signed up my mom and myself for private knitting lessons. It was such a great time. It was time well spent with my mom, and we both got to learn something that we still enjoy doing to this day. Taking a class and taking that time to explore something that you have an interest in is a really lovely type of self-care. And if circumstances in your life are such that you either can't afford it or you don't have the flexibility at work, you couldn't take it during work hours, then what you can do is you can go onto YouTube and study anything that you want for free. There is literally everything available to us on YouTube. We took our granddaughter to Disneyland a couple of months ago. We bought her this little toy book, and none of the 4 adults in the room could figure out how to open this little book. And my husband went on YouTube, And 10 seconds later, he found a video of a woman teaching us how to open this book. I mean, absolutely anything that you could be interested in watching is available on YouTube. And so what I want you to do is schedule 2 to 3 hours per week, preferably during your work week when it really is hectic. Take that time to take a class, study something that you're interested in. It's going to be something that you look forward to on the days you're not doing it. Build that time in to your schedule. Make it a firm commitment, and you will not regret it. I absolutely promise you. I can't tell you how much studying art over the past 5 or 6 years have benefited me in all aspects of my life, but especially my business. Like learning about color theory, how would that apply to business? But it absolutely does all the time, every day. I'm constantly using some of the concepts I've learned in art in business. I'd love to hear in the comments below what type of class you're going to schedule for yourself. That way we can inspire each other in this community. Number 3, this is what I call a Sunday mindset. Sunday is a little bit different than any other day of the week for me. I typically work Monday through Friday. We try to have our granddaughter over on Friday nights for a sleepover if that's possible. Saturday, we tend to do errands and go out and do different things. And Sunday is usually a day to stay at home and rest and kind of recuperate from the week. And I find that as I move through Sunday, I find that I get a lot done, but I don't have any particular stress in terms of having to do so many things in a short period of time. I work on what I want to work on, whether it be cleaning, whether it be doing art, whether sometimes I do work on Sunday, but only because it's the thing that I want to do most at that moment. I just noticed that I have more relaxed attitude on Sunday as compared to how I feel on Wednesday. On Monday morning, you're kind of optimistic about all the things you're going to get done that week. Wednesday afternoon, you're like, oh my gosh, it's almost Friday and I still have so much left to do. So Wednesday can be one of those days where you've got a lot coming at you and it's a lot of stress, and it's a lot of stress because you've not kind of accomplished maybe what you wanted to accomplish and just the craziness of life. And so what I want you to do here is, if you're feeling that kind of stress where a lot of things are coming at you, one of the ways that I notice it is if I go in to send an email and I see like 5 other emails and I start responding to them, and then I forget what the original email I was intending to send was about. And then I was like, why did I even go in here? Oh yeah, that's it. And it took forever. That's a really good sign that I've got too many thoughts going around and I'm too scattered and I need to take a break. And so the easiest thing you can do is get up and take a walk, 5-10 minutes, right? This is not a 30-minute exercise. Get up, walk around until your thoughts settle. Don't think about what you have going on. This is a time to just clear your mind. You could also sit and have a cup of tea. Just sit and relax and not to try to do anything for 5 to 10 minutes and let your thoughts settle. You don't want to try to work on your problems. It's probably too much to ask to try to meditate. Meditating is a great idea and it's good self-care and all that, just like exercise and eating healthy and all that. But when you're in that kind of crazy, overwhelmed, I don't have bandwidth mode, it's really hard to get into the meditative mode. So what you're looking for is maybe the space in between, to where you can settle your mind down from the craziness of what you have been dealing with and not quite be meditative, but at least have your thoughts soften and slow down. And that's what I call a Sunday mindset. So to bring that Sunday mindset into place, think of something funny. Think of something that you're grateful for. Let your thoughts soften and have a little bit of patience with yourself. And you might find that having patience will actually help you get things done faster. We did an episode on patience and how it can help you achieve your goals faster. And we will link to that here. So today we covered 3 ways to build self-care into a busy schedule. We talked about creating a morning ritual where you tell yourself nice things about yourself. We talked about the benefits of taking a class or a hobby. And we talked about creating something called a Sunday mindset, which is equal to creating balance in your life. We've put together a free guidebook that you can download that will help you to create your own plan for self-care. We'll put a link to that in the description. Or you can go to the website at shinefirsttoday.com to access it. If you've enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. If you're looking for more support on your journey and you want to join a lovely community of like-minded people, please head over to our website at shinefirsttoday.com. At the website, we have a number of resources to help guide you on your journey. I'm sending you light and love. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.